Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is China's Car Valley in the city of Wuhan, which is home to 14 vehicle plants and over 1,400 part suppliers that ship from China to around the world. Ms. Dzinski, official Chinese documents show that between 2021 and 2022, companies in Car Valley employed more than 3,000 workers from Xinjiang, right? You have to audibly answer.
Yes.
But these workers are not there by choice. The CCP forcibly sends Uyghurs from Xinjiang across China, and not only to Car Valley. Here, in this photo, we see workers from Xinjiang about to be forcibly transferred to Jiangsu province with these weird carnations pinned to their chest to make printed circuit boards for Chinese cars. It's estimated that tens of thousands of forced laborers like these have been sent to factories across China, implicating at least 30 major car manufacturers. So, Ms. Dzinski, I believe it's essential, and I hope that you agree, that we root out forced labor from our auto supply chains and aggressively enforce our laws against forced labor, right?
Absolutely. There's two ways we need to look at forced labor. One is that it is a moral tragedy, and there's no question about that. But it's also an economic cheat. So when we think about forced labor as one of these non-market practices, combined with all the other things that are going on, these massive subsidies, the vertical integration, the IP theft, it becomes impossible to achieve competitive gains against that as a Western manufacturer.
It feels like we have to root this out of our supply chain. And I have another example for you. So another way that China is exporting its unfair trade practices is through transshipment. During the first Trump administration, the US imposed Section 301 tariffs on a range of Chinese products, including auto parts, to address unfair CCP trade practices and just industrial practices like IP theft. The Biden administration kept those tariffs. How did the CCP respond? They transshipped products through third countries, and we're not doing nearly enough to stop it. This here is a brake hose, and this is a window regulator. This is what allows car windows to go up and down in our cars, and they're inserted in the door panel. Mr. Ludwig, these parts are in pretty much every American car, right?
That's correct.
Well, the problem is this brake hose is made by a Chinese company called Sunsong, which is suspected of transshipping its products through Thailand. My staff bought this brake hose just down the street. These window regulators are made by A Premium, another Chinese company suspected of transshipping and undervaluing its products. We got these on Amazon. So, Mr. Chairman, you and I, along with Ms. Hinson, have a bill to increase criminal prosecution of companies that engage in this transshipment practice. Ms. Dzinski, we must hold companies that transship and engage in other illegal trade practices accountable, right?
Yeah, there's no question, and I think you're bringing up a really important issue, which sometimes gets pushed to the side, which is the capacity for trade enforcement. And it really cuts across many things. It's the investigative side, which you've alluded to, but it's also understanding at a much more granular level the supply chains, the transshipment routes. It even includes trade-based money laundering and the other mechanisms that are used frequently by the CCP and Chinese companies to evade a range.
So our bill actually increases the resources for this at DOJ, and so we're hoping that we can make this happen. Let me turn to my final topic. We talked about unfair Chinese practices, but how can the US compete? It starts with our workforce. Last month, Ford's CEO said he has 5,000 open mechanics jobs because of a skills shortage. And he says we'll need over 400,000 auto technicians in the future. We need to be training workers to fill these positions, but many fear that AI and robots will replace people. Mr. Ludwig, you've heard the phrase, AI won't take your job, but someone using AI will, correct?
That's correct.
As we adopt new technologies such as AI, we must ensure workers' opportunities and their rights advance as well. Places like Washtenaw Community College in Ann Arbor, Michigan, near your district, Mr. Chair, have recognized this and are training auto workers to use AI. At this center, students like these folks, Case, Mick, and Mike, are learning about robotics and quality control with AI tools. Mr. Ludwig, we need more programs like this to help workers move up the value chain by being someone using AI instead of being replaced by AI, correct?
Completely agree.
Thank you so much, and I yield back.
Thank you. I'd now